Welcome back to the podcast that doesn't sleep on 4th of July weekend. Yay! Apparently I'm the one who's excited.
Yay!
I don't want your fake enthusiasm, asshole. All right, welcome back. We have a guest. She's my mod, both here and on Twitch. She just annoys me. I think I've referred to her as my little sister a lot of times because she literally acts like it. Of course, talking about Bryce.
Yeah, I'm the little sister.
No, this is Ox. This is Ox.
I am the mod.
Yeah, he is the mod. This is Ox. She set up the entire Discord. She is a mod. She's also a part-time, once a year streamer.
I stream more than that. What do you mean?
When is the last time you streamed? Let's play. Let's see.
May, I think. I streamed once in May. Call of Duty.
Right,
and then my stream just died. So
I think I spelled your name wrong.
Yeah, it doesn't even say when she was last live. That's how long it's been.
No, it can't be that long.
It's been long.
Really?
Yeah.
It just says Oxy is offline. It doesn't even give the was last live, blah blah blah. Usually if if I go to mine, it'll say Bryce Prince Gaming was last live 11 days ago.
Let's see when.
Let me go to my analytics.
I'm looking. Okay, I'm looking at it. The official date was March 13th.
No. The last time I streamed was Monday, May 15th.
Oh, on Twitch Tracker it says March. Well, Twitch Tracker says March.
Oh.
Well, my Twitch analytics say Monday, May 15th.
No, that's probably right.
I was gonna say Twitch Tracker's off all the time.
Well, I think it goes off of number of viewers. So if you don't hit 3, I don't think it counts it. And the only reason I'm if I remember correctly, it was sort of I was even in and out and everything. I think.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know anything about Twitch. I don't keep up with anything. I don't know how anything works. I'm just there.
She's there and just mods every once in a while.
Yeah.
I've been better. I've been coming around more.
Yeah, you just come in and say, hey, I'm going to the bar. See you later.
That's not true, and you know that.
I will say this. The past couple times I've seen you in Spects' streams, it has been for 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay, say 15, and I'll agree.
Okay, 15. I'll give you 15.
Right.
Look, I can't account for lurking, because I also lurk a lot of the times, so.
I think
I do too.
That's true. When my stream doesn't just break, my IP doesn't suck.
I think
and to be fair, his stream keeps dying.
What was funny?
Specs, get better internet.
Yeah, what the heck?
I literally said this earlier. Where I live, I can't. Verizon keeps telling me, they're like, hey, you can get 5G, and I'm like, 1, I don't get 5G at where I live. Even on my phone, and 2, it would just be 4G, and it's I need it. I stream off of it, I game off of it. Well, you can. I go, yeah, but if it dips, if my download drops, I'm in trouble. That's what's been happening. It's I've caught it during the dips, and it literally will crash to a screeching halt. So I don't know what's going on, but it's been. I thought it was just OBS, but no, it's the IP.
I had that issue, but you have Spectrum, right?
Yeah, I have Spectrum.
I had that same issue. I continually still have that issue. It'll go out once a day for me. It drives me nuts.
Yeah, it at least doesn't do it when I'm writing. But if it does, because I have to use Grammarly, so Grammarly has to be online. Every once in a while I'll be like, oh, it disconnected. I'm like, how is it disconnecting? I'm hardwired. I shouldn't be dipping like this. So I know the last time I had this problem, it was because of the router. And I'm like, if it's the router again, I'm going to lose my mind.
Did you get a new router?
No, I got a new router 3 years ago. Because it flat out died.
Okay.
Because
Google Fiber where I live.
Yeah, you also live in you live in Utah.
Even though all I have is Wi-Fi, it's pretty solid connection. So and we're moving. Me and my family, we're moving over the course of this next month, and we get to have our own like direct connection into Google Fiber at the new apartment, and pretty excited because it's 2 gig speeds.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Yeah, Google Fiber's fast.
Yeah, you could do one gig is like $70. I think 2 is like $100 a month.
So you might as well do the 2 at that point.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, I could technically even, there's a 5 gig for like I think 130, and I'm like I've thought about it, but
so hilariously, like I had the speed test, like I just did it right now. I'm at full speed. I'm at 300 up, 11 down, which is where I should be. But during the middle of the day, it'll just crash.
I can tell you did the speed test because the camera, the feed for us kind of froze up for a second.
Well, because the whole thing was like when it did it Monday, I pulled it up my phone. So I'm like, is it dying, or is it just like, because I know OBS has had from OBS updates, it'll conk, it'll chug, and I'm like, okay, what is it? Now when I pull it up on my phone, it couldn't even connect. I'm like, oh, so it's Spectrum's like conking out on itself again.
Mm-hmm.
So
it like stutters, and then it takes like a couple minutes to get back.
It'll stutter.
Or at least for me.
So for me, if I run the speed test, I can see it. It'll be like 20 gigs. I'm usually up at with what I pay for, I'm usually up at 350, 300. So like I have no problems. And then upload, I'm usually about 10, 11. But it's when it was down to like 64 today, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me, guys.
That's ridiculous.
They suck. Like it does it, like it's been doing it like for the past week. But
it does it around the same time every day for me.
It's
like
doing,
while I'm
yeah.
working.
It's doing lately. It's been like 2-3 o'clock. If I'm streaming, it'll just conk, and I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me.
That's wait. That's about the same time it happens to me, because mine's around like noon, and you're 3 hours behind me.
That'd be 9 a.m. That'd be 9 a.m. for me.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Oh yeah, Bryce has my mug. Get that at the store. This is how
I'm gonna do my my hydrate.
Oh, there you go.
Thing on Twitch now. Just do somebody else's branding instead of my own.
That's what I'm doing.
I don't have any branding.
I don't have any merch, and I don't have any plans to do any merch anytime soon. So
I only did merch because I was literally when I was working at a graphics place and we were slow, I could do my own. My boss didn't care if I worked on my own designs and stuff.
I have no problem with you having your own merch. I mean, if I had the drive,
hey, people
to
buy
that.
it. People buy it. Like I have friends who bought it, like hoodies and stuff, and they all love them. I don't have it. I just forget.
There's the plug for Spects' merch.
You don't have your own merch?
Who? Bryce? I do.
No.
Bryce doesn't.
I don't.
I thought you said you didn't buy any.
I haven't bought any. I always forget. I legitimately forget.
Oh, Spects hasn't bought his own merch. Is what
I haven't. No. I forget. I legitimately forget because every time I say, "Oh, I'll buy it," I'm like, "No, I want to redo it because I don't like the art style," and I'm like, oh, "I want to redo it."
No matter what, I think you're always gonna be constantly like, maybe for Spects' birthday this year, I'll just get him like a packet of his own merch.
The end of the year, thanks. Yeah, I need to make a new one. I literally was like, okay, when summer hits, I'm gonna redo it, and I haven't redone it.
Well, it's officially summer now, so
yeah,
now's your time to shine.
Shit. I know. I'm like, shit. I need to do it because I want to do because the original idea was I wanted to have like one that stayed up and then sort of run like limited releases, but it's like I'm in like perpetual like no one's really gonna buy it, so it's just like a waste of time to like do like short term stuff.
That's fair.
Like I just have to like fully redesign it, which is fine.
I feel like people would buy it though. You have like a pretty loyal following.
I have a cheap following. I mean that nicely.
Hello.
No, you know what I'm in this weird spot where it's like, because I keep saying like I should just shill for myself on YouTube, and I don't. Like I'm really weird about it because it's like it's there if it's someone wants it, like it's there.
You gotta just design an end screen and have like a link where it's like buy my merch.
I've thought about it where it's like I can design my own like end screen or like put like sub, like I've wanted to do that where it's like the chat when I have like the sideways chat. I've thought I won't really, what I wanted was a bottom line and I wanted like info on it just like circulating randomly. But every time I've talked to some, like whenever I ask anyone who knows how to code, I either get like left on red or people are like, I don't know how that would work. And I'm just like, I just need it to pop up like I'm like, it's there. I just need to know if I can have it just rotate a feed, because I know there's rotating feeds, but I need to have it where it's just like info, like, hey, new YouTube video or something, like, well, when I'm live or like not live, like get from 1A to B, because a lot of people who watch YouTube don't go to the Twitch streams and vice versa.
What have you put any of it in like your YouTube descriptions or anything like that?
Nope.
Like, have you thought about doing that?
Maybe I should. I just don't know if there'd be anything.
At the end of the video, you could just be like merch in the description.
Like check out the links in the description below.
I usually say it. I usually say it, but I feel really cheesy because it just feels, it's just begging. Where it's like, hey, make sure you like the video and stuff, and I'm like, I could care less. But
at this point, all YouTubers do it.
I know they all do it.
You wouldn't be an odd one out.
No, I know they all do it. Like some do. I sort of laugh because like I'm not a Mizkif fan, but I love his like stupid hijinks of like getting other people to do his shit for him. I find it hilarious. I love it more than anything. Like that's what I really need. I need other people to do it for me. I need e-girls to start doing it for me. That's what I need. I need an army of e-girls to do my bidding for me. So I'll get famous.
Oh my god.
That's what I need. He muted himself again.
He's muted.
I wouldn't know how to get. Sorry, I had to blow my nose, so I didn't want to send that out over the podcast. No, I was gonna say I wouldn't know how to go about getting e-girls to promote merch for me. So
I would ask.
I used to be an e-girl.
I would ask Ox to model for me, but I think she'd say no because that means she'd have to come out to California and hang out with me.
I mean, I've never been to California. I'm always down for like a trip to go somewhere.
The best part is like you have another friend who lives out here, or did, right?
She did. She moved to Florida now.
Oh, she's
out of the Navy, so
good for her.
She's not. Her contract ended and she didn't renew.
That's what my buddy.
Like, I'm out of there.
That's my buddy did. He did his 4 years and it was like I'm done. But he also just had his kid and he's like I'm not. He even said he's like I'm not with what was going on. He's like I'm not risking getting sent overseas and missing this. He's like nope, not worth it.
Yeah. That's kind of like in the same ballpark as she found like a guy that she's ready to settle down with and like start a family. So she's like, nope. I want to go to South America or wherever. So
well, this is like, I think when he stopped was like, I mean, Ukraine was like fairly new. And he was like, I don't want any part of, he's like, I don't want any part of this.
Right.
So he got out, but he still gets the benefits. Not all of them, but some of them.
Yep.
I think his wife might have more. I don't know how it works. Yeah, he stayed in for his GI Bill. So, hey, he got his degree from it. It's all that matters. Yeah. Hit that free education.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, come out to California. You can model for me.
I know. I used to be like a legitimate e-girl. I used to have like the blonde
the camera and everything.
Fancy. So fancy.
I got stories from back in like my college days when I was doing pictures and video. Oh,
should we dive into that? I feel like we should.
I had an uncanny knack for getting really good booty shots on accident. that was like my gift.
Accident?
Oh no.
No, it'd be legitimately accident because what I would do is because you'd
see a really attractive girl and he'd be like,
no, okay. No. Okay, well, yeah, because the guy who I was doing this with, and Bryce knows him, my buddy Austin. How do I describe him? He's very like outgoing. He's honestly, when it comes to like he was big on the social media stuff. Like he's quite honestly like he was like he's actually like he's good at influencing. Like that's what he is. He's very much like social media personality. He's an influencer. He does all of it. He does very, very well. And he's always been good at just getting people to be like getting people into like do things like because when we did it, it's in my closet, but like that was like our big ticket item was merch and stuff. It was fitness merch. It was like workout clothes, but like shirts you could like wreck. Like they were decent of quality, but like the idea was like you wear it to the gym and stuff, like that kind of thing. So like, yeah, when we're doing it, like, yeah, we had like the beefcake dudes, bodybuilders for the guys. And then for the girls, naturally, we had like a lot of CrossFit girls who would come in and do stuff for us. So like when I was doing like, cause I would do like mainly, so we had 2 photographers and then me, I would just mainly do video and stuff because we wanted back then we had Vine and Musically, so like short form content was starting to come up, so it was like he wanted like the video portion to like cut up and stuff. And hilariously, this one will always make me laugh. There's a girl who's big now by the name of Demi Bigby. We were the first ones to discover her like 7 years ago and get no credit for it for whatsoever, and me and him have actually laughed about it to this day.
Go after her and be like, I want my royalties, please.
No, we never said, like, it was one of those bits where we were just because her brother was an actor, so it was only a matter of time before she took off. It was only like a matter of time, but it's just really, really funny because like we were like one of like the first like sponsors she got, which is funny because I remember seeing her like on like Barstool or something throwing out a first pitch, and I'm like, it was funny because like I remember I recorded her announcement video that she signed on with us like in 2017, like 6 years ago. It was like the funniest thing ever. Not funny, but it's weird.
It's wild how things work like that. Like with social
really
media
is.
Now, everybody can just like get big and like, oh, I know you when like I knew you from when you were still so small.
Yeah.
Sorry, I stuttered. And then like their front page, like TikTok, like you're seeing them and they're so popular, or Vine or whatever.
When Vine was, yeah, whatever. Like I mean, it's different. I'm weird on it because it's like that's how I make money too doing it, but it's so weird where it's like you're in this phase of like anyone can really do it. It's the great equalizer. It's just a matter of how much work you want to put into it.
Mm-hmm. And then like you also have to learn like the algorithm and like what do you think like based on like the general consensus, like if I were to post this, do you think this will be picked up and then more people will see it? Like it like really becomes like a big thing. Like you really have to think about it. Like
those conversations. Think about having those conversations 6 years ago.
6 years ago, no, it was like the wild west.
No, but that was the whole thing. We were having. Those are the conversations we were having. Like I remember sitting down and talking to him, and him being like, "I kid you not." He literally goes He's like, in 4 to 5 years, you're gonna. No, because I got asked in 2020. He's like, 3 to 4 years, you're gonna get asked for social media handles. I'm like, no, you're not. And he's like, no, they're gonna care about reach. And I'm like, no, they're not. No. And then literally, like, I was interviewing for jobs out of college, and they wanted my handles, and I'm like, oh my god, he was right.
It's so crazy.
That's like even now they're like, well, what's your reach? And I'm like, I'm like, I don't know. I get decent number of eyeballs. But yeah, that was 6 years ago.
It's so crazy how everything is just like evolved to that now. Like it's all towards, I don't know. I just feel like everything moves so fast.
But
like,
it's eyeballs.
After COVID, like after the whole pandemic thing, everything really moved online. So it's like,
well, that's what
now everything really depends on like how much pull you have, how much reach you have, like.
And do you know how to get that reach?
And do you know how to maintain it?
That's the hard one.
Is another big thing.
That's the hard one, is the maintaining, because like you and I both know someone who had it, and then just like when you stop it, when there is momentum, it you never get it back.
And like. Even with like bigger streamers and like other people, like bigger content creators, they know like if they don't stream for like a couple days or like a week, they're not gonna have those subscribers that use their primes or like
even
what have you. They're not gonna come back because
they're gonna forget.
Like, they're gonna find somebody else to replace you.
Yeah, that's why
you have to keep going.
That's why I think like the big ones have sort of learned the diversifying a lot. Where if they go like right now, like this is gonna go up Monday, like I'm probably not gonna stream until the end of the week, probably. More than likely. And it's like, well, that sucks. Cause like I don't know how many subs are ending in that time. I don't think a lot, but if any. But like I have to keep that to the forefront.
Yeah. It's like a big thing that you have to think about. Like if you're not going to stream for so long, then like you're potentially losing out on this money or like, this viewership or potential like things like that.
I think that's why like having YouTube videos is like so huge because that's just such I think partner programs for YouTube are so highly needed now, especially with Twitch where it's like you only get 70-30 for 100K, which for big streamers that's 3 months. And that's back to 50-50. So like if you don't have some sort of like way to like make up that income, like you're in trouble. Well, not in trouble, but some are. I think most who are like moderately living don't. It doesn't matter, but you don't want to leave that money on the table. I mean, I don't know.
Luckily,
350.
Luckily for me, as I've been moving, I don't have any subs except for Spects. So
there you
go. So I'm just able to take as much time as I need. And
I kind of wish I could do that, but it's like I feel guilty. Like I feel guilty if I miss a lot of times. It's like it's only $5, but it's like how much content
whenever you are active with streaming, you are active with streaming. Even me, I'm like, yeah, it depends.
If I get hooked onto something and I want to play something, I'll keep going. But once like that wears off, it's just like I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
Like once you're in that, it's just like I don't like.
I won't lie though, it's actually been somewhat nice to not have to worry about I've been doing other things in its place because I've been busy. That's why I haven't been streaming. But it's been nice to not have to.
Your chat has children.
Not have to get on and worry about everything. So
your chat has children, so I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Like actual children?
No. He knows what I'm talking. He knows what I mean. He knows what I mean. Like I don't. He's not a bad person. He's not. He's really not. He's an eager beaver.
Yes.
He's very eager. Hilariously enough, I think even like Parrot. It's like I think they both have the talent and the skill to do well. It's just they both go about it in very different ways that neither of them do it right. I've told him. I've told Parrot that I go, you're good enough to hit levels. It's just you don't. I go, but you do it wrong. And it's like, and I keep telling him like, I go play something you have fun with. He's like, well, I like Wonderlands. I'm like, all right, play Wonderlands. And it's like Wonderlands sucks, but it's like mod. He's like, oh, I'll do modded Wonderlands. He did modded Wonderlands, and it was, but it's like Wonderlands is dead. It's one that like, I'm like, dude, if he was in the right crowd, he would do fine. He just needs to like, right. I want to be like, get out of. I really want to like, dude, get out of my stream. I can literally tell you where to go. Be in their chat, and if you're in their chat constantly, they'll go over to you. Like I know who. It's like I still know the chats like for you to go to if you want them.
Well, it's all about networking. Networking is such an important thing when you're streaming like that. You have to make friends. You have to like get everybody to like you and be like, oh, maybe I'll give them a follow, and then that's how you start growing.
I thought it was showing
is like
skin.
The key to that.
I thought I said it shows skin.
Well, that's if you're a hot tub streamer.
I also think for both
Parrot.
I also think for both of them, part of their issue tends to be they don't understand the less is more mentality. Well, I guess for Parrot, it's not as much of a less is more mentality.
Parrot's biggest,
right times throughout the week.
Parrot's biggest problem, and he told me this. He goes, he streams off his Xbox. I'm like, get a PC. I literally said, get a PC because then you can see everything and you're not going to be like looking at it. Like I streamed off my PlayStation when I first started, but I had my laptop where I could see chat, and I think too on PlayStation it'll pop up on the screen if there is a chatter, like it'll pop up on your screen, but it's like have it right there and just glance at it. You don't have to like stare at it, but like have it there. But it's like those first couple months are gonna suck. Like not everyone, unless you have like a friend like I did who skyrocketed and I just rode his coattails. And then I wrote somebody else's coattails, but that's another story for another day. Okay, maybe not that one so much, but I'm the last one standing, damn it.
Yeah.
No, I am. I'm literally out of all the friends I made when I first started, I am the last one still going.
That's true. I mean, at least from how I found you, out of that group, it's still me. Yeah, it's only me. It's you.
It's me.
Yep. So I guess you're right.
I mean, to be fair, you did have someone you brought into streaming in me, and then I've pushed you to keep going when you've.
Stand by. You're gonna pass me, like Mark. With that community, you're gonna pass me.
Well, yeah, Mario Maker's a good community. It's fun times.
But yeah, you got builders who just want their crap shown.
I was gonna say it could be a little like I get a little like exhausted, I guess is the word.
I don't know how you do it. I would
people coming in and being like, let's do this and do this crazy level that I built. And I'm like, I'm slightly above average in this game.
I'm not. I'm below average at every game I play.
I like Mario Maker's one of the few games where I'd say I'm just slightly above average at the game and not much better than that. So it's like some people like the big streamers in that community, it's like they're all really good. So you get people who are like, I'm gonna send you this level that's crazy, and it's like, yeah, because the really big streamers could beat it. I'm just like sitting here for an hour, like I don't know how to get past this part.
Yeah, I know that's one thing. Like at least with Borderlands, where it's like the top tier is top tier, but man, if you're in that middle spot, you're good. I don't think I was ever in the middle spot.
I started to get there, and then I just stopped streaming entirely because I moved.
Yeah.
So I just never continued with that, and then I stopped streaming for like 5 months, and then
shame.
It's like I came back with Call of Duty and just never recovered.
And I played Borderlands offline, but I played Borderlands twice since. I tried a one life and it didn't. I tried a one life and I died at. I didn't even get off the glacier.
Oh, yeah, that was the day you got.
I died
mad that day.
When I died with Flint? No, I didn't get mad that day.
No. Or was it the second? I think you played Borderlands not too long.
I never died. I never get mad at Borderlands.
No, there was that one time you got really mad because remember I was kind of bullying you in the chat, and
I got mad when I was playing Doom because it was like frustrating. Like the only times I've been actually mad
was it Doom? Maybe it was Doom.
The only times I actually got mad is I was getting pissed at that stupid Hell House because it's just a bulky piece of shit and I hate it. And fuck Squirt.
Well, I didn't bully you that day.
I hate like.
No, you're being so helpful. You were like trying to tell him like.
I had to turn it off because I'm like, I just need to focus, and then I literally did what he did, and I beat it the next time. I'm like, well, this is dumb. But
literally, what was funny? Yeah, literally, what was funny was I was like, you just gotta set this up and do this. And he was like, I'll figure it out.
No, because like I told you, I told you this off stream. I told you this off stream. I said every guy I looked for was talking about like, oh, you can just hit it, and I'm like, that doesn't seem like it's working. And then I just do what you said. I'm like, you know what? Screw it. I'll put it all on
the
there.
opposite of what you were saying you found online. The opposite, because with that big thing, it's avoided at all costs unless you're using magic. and then
when I did it that way, it wasn't. It was fine.
You beat it within like a half an hour.
It was fine. It just took.
It's still a pain.
Every boss in that game takes forever. Like even like the last boss that it was like 20 minutes. I don't get it with Square Enix with these bosses that like they aren't necessarily hard. They either have some BS gimmick or they're just tanks, and I don't get it, and I hate it.
We have a podcast episode sitting in the.
I deleted that fun fact by accident.
Oh, you did?
I did.
Okay. Well, then never mind. We had a podcast first
because I go by because what I do is like when it's in the folder, I go by dates, and I should have labeled it, and I didn't. Because if I labeled it something, I wouldn't have done it. But I go by dates and I delete.
That's why I always call the HFR.
Yeah, I should have done that.
Industry, when we have an HFR in a folder,
I needed
we
to
literally
do that.
put HFR, do not delete.
I needed to do that, and I didn't. That's my fault. But
how dare you?
We can do something similar at some point. Like that's just
we'll figure.
That
we'll
was
figure
a whoops. Like I meant to tell you, I'm like, oh shoot, I need to put it. I need to put it in the drive, in the Google Drive.
Oh yeah, that's also a good one.
This is why I don't see. It's what I need to do. It'd be great if I had mods. Kidding.
Hello, we're right here.
I know. This whole Discord, this whole Discord is because Auczy's like, I'm making this.
I built this server for you.
You did. He built his own.
Color rolls and all. Everybody can be personal and all of that.
I built my own, but I modeled it after Spects. So I basically
so
just
you modeled
kind
it
of
after
kept glancing.
my work.
Yeah.
That's my work.
It's good. I gotta redo some things, but I can do it. Like
I don't have like the music bot or anything.
She just put that in. She just put that in there. Like I don't even remember the reason. I think her reason's like, well, if you have Hangouts, then everyone can just listen to what you're listening to. And I'm like,
yeah.
I'm like, I don't think
Specs ever makes it huge.
If I,
you mean when?
When? I think my wins passed.
Be consistent.
No.
Network,
Specs is gonna find a game.
I think you underestimate how much I'm on here.
Specs is gonna find a game that everybody's gonna be like, "Whoa,
man!" The game I want to do that for, I get bullied in. I get bullied in that category.
MLB.
Yeah, it's too top. Yeah. It's way too top heavy.
Yeah.
I was looking at it last night, and I'm like, yeah, this is a problem where it's like 1.3K, 700K, or no, 1.3K is the highest, 700, and then like it's like 400, 100, and then it's just like 5.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, Jesus.
MLB, I feel like sports games, if you're not like the top echelon, sports games do well on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll admit that. Like my
and only if you're covering aspects of the game itself. Like
no,
best videos in the MLB.
My best videos are the ones where I'm literally saying
this card thing is crazy.
It's either me saying like, "Hey, this looks good," or "Hey, SDS sucks." Those are the two that do great. Is when I'm literally either criticizing them or saying, "Hey, this looks good," and I'm like, "This is really I have to be that guy." Yep. Like I have to be the one who's be like they're criticism and I sort of laugh. I'll do it on Twitter. I told Bryce this that night, but Ox is here so you can hear it. They hired 2 games have like community advisors. So they hired 2. They hired one guy, one girl. The girl they hired, I despise with a fiery passion. She's just how do I put this?
Oh.
Here's my rationale. This is so I don't know, maybe I'm lucky because like whether it was you, Soccer, Kateri, or whoever, right? Even Feisty to a certain degree. Like you guys have like personality and you guys understand it to a degree. In some fashion, whether it was like esports with soccer or like you and Kateri just sort of like growing up into it or married into it. Like you guys understand like the culture of it. Like you understand like at least to a certain degree, like the background and everything else. Right. Yeah. Okay. So this is what got me when they got her, I was like, I don't like the hire, but hey, I'll give it a shot. So the girl did, when they did a bigger stream because they added a bunch of stuff and one of it was, like scenery wise, they had 2 new series cards. They had like I think it was supposed to be like a Japanese like manga thing, but for whatever reason they switched it because one was like kaiju monsters, like kaijus, and then like a superhero one. I think it was supposed to be manga, but I don't think they thought it would translate. I don't know why. But they had a dev on there who was showing like stuff for my ballpark and stuff. And this dev was excited because it was like, if you, Bryce and I grew up with like Godzilla, like the classic Godzilla movies and like the kaiju movies and stuff. Like you can find them. They're great movies.
Like Pacific Rim.
Yeah, like Pacific Rim. But
I have a Pacific Rim sweatshirt. I should have worn it.
Yeah,
it would have been perfect.
Like so, like think like Pacific Rim, but like back like when we were kids. Like I remember they're like there are some like terribly dubbed films from Japan that are just like chef's kiss because of how bad they are. But like they were showing like background like Broken Bill stuff, and this dev is all excited, and I kid you not, I'm watching her, she's like, yeah, like not caring whatsoever, and it was 5 minutes, and I'm like, she doesn't care, and this guy's like hyping this up to be cool. And I felt back, I'm like, this guy worked on this, and she's just giving nothing, and I'm like, this is why like I felt so bad. So I'm like, he's trying, she's giving him nothing, and just like, dude, this is why you gotta like vet these people, or like have someone look at me, like tell her like you need to show some enthusiasm or something. Like I know you don't care, but this guy cares a lot, and it looked so bad. And this was just mistake after mistake, and I was like, man, I felt bad for the guy.
Right.
But, yeah, well, I mean, it's kind of that thing that gets so tiring sometimes with, or that gets so like that makes Mario Maker streams exhausting. Is if you get like sometimes you get great levels, it's great stream, all this stuff, but then there's other times where you get like a few like not
Duds.
Great levels, but you're like a streamer and you're in streamer mode, so you're still like, yeah, I like the aspects of this level. Like, yeah, the jumping is really,
What
the
was
fact that I have
the
the platform is really good.
But
It's
what was
like,
so okay, like what was funny is like the one level you ended up making a video on. I actually genuinely love that level, the spicy meatball one. Like I love that level. I loved it.
Yeah.
I like that stuff. I'm like, I will eat up. Like
that
I
was
love
a good
it.
level, yeah.
But some of the other ones, like speed runs.
But yeah, but being a streamer sometimes means having to act a little for your audience.
At least you
Depends on. I guess it kind of
vain
depends on the
interest.
kind of relationship you want with your audience too. Because if like there are some streamers who like are like, I'm just gonna be brutally honest, and their audience loves them for it.
Hey, it works.
I'm in the. I don't want to offend anybody, so I'm just gonna.
I want people to pay me. That's what I want. I want subs. There's a reason why I have Twitch Prime's not a crime on there.
Ugh.
What? Hey, I get ad revenue. Not a lot.
I mean, what, like 2 pennies?
I get dollars actually.
Really?
Yeah, I get like $3.
Did
they up it? I haven't been keeping up with Twitch. Like I don't really know.
I do get like the higher one because I run 3 minutes of ads.
3 minutes of ads every hour.
But then there's no pre-rolls.
Oh, okay.
I do the same thing.
And
only because I asked my chat specifically.
Because I
what do you guys prefer, and they were like, we don't want pre-rolls.
I've literally,
pre-rolls suck.
I've asked some people. I'm literally like, I remember what was funny was I was doing it in a CJ's when he was on YouTube. We were having this conversation, and I'm like, and I go, I'm on Twitch, and I'm like, do I just do the 3 minutes? And everyone's like, yeah, because even all of them are like, yeah, realistically, like I'd rather click into your stream and not have an ad, like for however,
like,
and then have it roll later.
Yeah, because like when 30 seconds, the pre-rolls typically are just 30 seconds. Those 30 seconds will make a break. Because like, do you really think that casual average viewer is going to want to sit for 30 seconds on somebody that they're just looking through? They're trying to find a streamer to land on, and then they have like that random pre-roll. Like it's really a make or break type thing. So like, I guess I get it.
That's what, yeah. And I've had others. Hilariously, I should have screenshot and sent it to him so that I was like, this is what they're doing now. Like they were doing some where I actually got like a screen ad where it wasn't like the window wasn't over chat, it was in the corner, and I'm like, that's a first.
Like in the top right, like above it.
Yeah, it was like they just
on
like
desktop.
Yeah, on desktop. I'm like, this is. I had the the scroll ones. Those aren't too bad, but I'm like, I want, if Twitch could change one thing, it'd be like, we need to stop the ad breaks a little bit. Like, it like have like a pop up, like a pop, like squeeze the screen and just have like a ticker or something.
Like one of those like little banner things like at the bottom.
Yeah, I'd much rather have those than like a minute of like pre-rolls.
But then like when you get it on mobile, like I don't know if they can like do that so it's effective for them on mobile. They like there's nothing you can do when you're on mobile. And I would say a lot more people are on, well, actually, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't. I should ask that. I wonder how many of them. How many are
versus mobile versus desktop.
Oh wait, I think I can see. Hold on.
Because like I mean, just in my circle, I feel like a lot of the people that I'm familiar with, or like other streamers that I know, like they'll come in on desktop and lurk like while they're working or like doing other things, but like. A lot of the times people will just come in and hang out on mobile for a little bit just to pass time.
Wait. I think I can see. I thought I could. Oh, wait, there you go. Is this it?
So like, I'm just speaking for experience.
I thought there was. Oh, no, you can see it. So for me, I found it. It's in
Is
Twitch.
it like personal to each? Okay.
Yeah. So like for mine, it's almost half is web, and then between no. So it actually is more app between iOS and Android. It's 52 to 46.
Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking.
So I guess
I
guess it is more so
because it seems easier for a lot of people because sometimes they're like waiting for like a bus or a train or like on break at work.
Yeah.
Not everybody carries a laptop.
I guess so. I never, I because they separate by iOS and I was like, oh, I guess not. But I'm like, no, actually that's 52%.
Right.
That's 52. So I guess so.
Just
41% of my viewers come from Android app, 32% from iOS, 25% from web, and then
But in terms of God dang it. But in terms of like views, it seems like it's less. Because in views it's 168 and 125 to 258.
Let me go to a period that I was actually streaming. Hold on. How do you see? Is it an engagement?
Go to Discovery.
Viewers Discovery.
Discovery. Okay.
293. Yeah, it's more than half.
Oh my gosh. I haven't. This is bad. I'm trying to find like a regular stream period where I like streamed at least regularly. Okay, here we go. In November.
Apparently no one likes the highs.
%51% were through the app.
Yeah, there you go. So maybe it is more
iOS and Android together. Yeah.
So maybe it is more mobile.
I just feel like that would be like the easier option for just like your average person.
I've wondered if that's the case.
Cause like, I mean, I've like when I've been like on Twitch actively, networking, I'll just, whenever it's convenient for me, like when I've been on breaks at work or like, when I'm waiting for stuff to be done, I'll just hop in, say hi, whatever. And that's 99% of the time on my phone.
But I think you and I might be in a different boat because like we work from home. So like I can throw up a Twitch stream on one monitor and work on my other monitor.
But I feel like that's also different than lurking. Like I have like a couple people that I like lurk in, but like when I'm actively chatting, I feel like I'm more doing that on my phone.
Bro, yeah, I guess so. Like if I'm doing if I'm watching on my computer, I'm doing something else. Like
yeah,
I'm playing something or I guess maybe you're right. Like I guess if I'm actively viewing it is on my iPad.
Your iPad?
Yeah.
Boomer. I'm sorry.
I have an iPad mini. It's a bigger screen. I do use it on my phone. I call
Spects a boomer whenever he goes, oh, that's totally Pog.
I do say Pog a lot.
No, you don't.
I say it more so to him because I know he doesn't get any humor.
God. Oh God.
Don't worry. In a video going up probably Monday, I literally hold on. I literally call myself a power bottom because all I do is I get under the ball and smack it.
Spects is a gold mine for clips. If you,
I really am.
Oh yeah.
I say the most and I'm slightly aware of it too. Like there's some gold mines that come out every so often.
I was gonna say I give some good moments. Like Spects' favorite is the I'm a sheep. Bah. Because I died and I went bah. And then I went, bah, I'm a sheep.
Let's see. In that Borderlands video, I screamed, "You can't touch me! I'm the gingerbread man," for no real reason, for no rhyme or reason.
You can't touch me! I'm the gingerbread man.
I said that for no rhyme or reason. What was another one?
My clips are just really weird. Like there's one where I'm singing, tonight the music feels that one. Whatever that song's called.
Careless Whisper.
Or you're saying ooh woo.
Careless Whisper.
Like
the best clip for that will always be Soccer Zulu, and I have it saved. She can delete all her stuff off the internet. There are clips I have just for blackmail reasons. And that ooh woo is one of them. And she saw and she's like, "Why do you have that?" I go, "Because if you didn't cover your mouth when you said it, I wouldn't care. The fact that you're so embarrassed is the reason why it will live in infamy forever."
I immediately apologize after I'm like, "I'm sorry. I don't know what I'm doing. I should end stream."
I'm just gonna leave now.
I'm done. I don't, because like sometimes I like try to be ironically funny and then it just comes out sounding so serious and then people are like,
"What?" No, that's why I just say stupid.
What just came out of your mouth?
I just say stupid shit. Like I said that. I think I said he clipped something where it was like you're seeing it whacked in the face with a fish. Like I don't even know what the context was. It was in pre-sequel, and it's like you should get whacked in the face with a fish. Was one that I'm trying to remember the clips he's done that he has of me. Like that was one of them.
And I have clipped a lot of you in the past month.
You have. Was another one.
Like literally, I think all the clips in the past month have been me, except for one by Desk.
Desk gets me too. Desk has my rant somewhere.
Desk is
when I ranted
really,
for
like
when
the greatest.
When I ranted after a baseball game.
One of my favorite ones is still the giant juicy thighs one.
I was doing that one on purpose. That was funny.
That one was on purpose.
That was on purpose because I was like,
no, the one that was accidental that's also funny is from that same stream, is where you're like, "Did I get the giant chocobo?" And then you're like, "Oh."
Because he squishes people with his giant thighs. If you look up the original Final Fantasy VII Fat Chocobo, he literally just falls on you and squishes you with his giant thighs.
Sorry, the noise is actually.
I've never played any Final Fantasies ever. I was saying how I've never played Final Fantasy before. None of them.
They're great games.
He's biased.
Hey, you like the story for Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I mean, I would say start at 7 because it's very story driven. So it's like if you like the story, if you like I know people have said this before, where it feels like a movie. Like 7 feels like a movie.
Mm.
And this is I only say this because I watched a YouTube video on it. But they were talking about the strong, like he was sort of making fun of like the strong female lead, and when he was talking about strong female lead was like, I'm trying to like word this so I don't sound like a misogynistic asshole. But he was sort of trying to compare like Sarah Connors. If you have ever seen Terminator. Okay, like like he was trying to compare like a Sarah Connors to like Captain Marvel, where
I'm okay.
Okay, so like the thing he was trying to make the point of was like how in that movie it was like Captain Marvel was like overpowering like all the male characters, like regardless of like powers or not. And his entire point of the video was like, why is it now when we're trying to make strong female leads, why are we making them like physically overpowering? And he used Sarah Connors, where it's like Sarah Connors was just would outsmart people. Like she outsmarted, like that was her thing, was like outsmarting people, not really like being able to take a punch from a guy or anything. It was like, no, she was crafty, she was scrappy, she was doing all this stuff, and you could tell like you wouldn't fuck with Sarah Connors. I don't think Bryce has even seen Terminator. No. But like it was the idea of like the different like ideas with it. And with the reason why I'm saying it's like in Final Fantasy, I think both Aerith and Tifa have like that female lead style where it's not like both of them are, you can tell both of them are very strong-willed characters, which I think is lost in gaming to a certain degree, especially with modern day like female leads, where it's almost like they're pigeonholed into something. Like I noticed it with Horizon a lot, where it kind of feels like, I don't think Borderlands didn't do it either, but like now it sort of feels like they want like a certain like path through these characters, where it's like with them it's like, no, you're gonna see like Aerith's strong, so is Tifa, and so is I forget the other one. I always Yuffie. Like all of them were like strong in their own way, in their own capacity. Like they're all like they're well written characters. They're not just like this almost dartboard, like almost like thrown at a dartboard like quality character.
I do agree that there does tend to be there is this tendency a lot in modern writing with female characters just to like write them into a certain like into a certain ilk where of strength, but like not just strength, but like it's a very particular like you were saying, like a very narrow window of like what it means to be strong.
I'm also trying not to tell like Auczy like how it is. I'm trying not to. I'm trying to like keep it like literary, because like I don't think Borderlands did it at all. I think Lilith even in 3 was like clearly like had her development, but like I don't know. I'm trying to like describe like I think the writing's good all the way through, and they took their time to do it.
It's true because you've got like what you've got in Final Fantasy VII is you've got with Tifa is like she's like this strong, like
she punches people in the face. You'd like her.
You know, she's willing to take on the world. Whereas Aerith is like maybe the more typical like.
I called her in one of my streams like the girl. Tifa's the girl you leave at home, and then when you go to college, you meet Aerith and you want to punch her in the face because she's annoying, and then you realize afterwards like no, you actually like need her.
Yeah, Aerith
because she's just like
Aerith is more like if you like even if you just take their battles, the like when they're battling the stuff that they say, because Aerith is like Aerith will be sitting there like, hey, da da da, and you know Tifa's like, I'm gonna, you know, like I don't remember her exact thing, but it's like I'm gonna get you kind of thing, and it's like, you know, let's do this sort of thing. But they're both very strong characters in their own way, and they're more well-rounded. And it allows them to, you know, be diverse characters rather than two really strong women who are the exact same stereotype of what it means to be a strong woman, which is good.
Have you seen? I'm gonna try. I'll put in a better. Have you seen like Disney's Mulan, like the live action? I'm trying to think of like a bad film like that. I can't think of
I'm
one.
not like a big movie person, so like. If you're gonna put it in like movie terms, I'm probably not gonna know it.
I'm trying to think even in video game terms. Like I forget what you play, because like I can say is Borderlands, but Borderlands didn't have that problem.
I play COD.
Does COD even have like I don't know.
I play Slime Ranching Simulator, Power Wash Simulator, Mario Odyssey.
Man, Power Wash Simulator's fun. I don't care what anybody says.
Dude, I put like 90 hours into the game. Like after I bought it, I was like, day after day after day. It's so bad.
I want to bring, you might remember it. Remember like my chill Saturday streams?
Vaguely.
I want to bring him back and do Power Wash Simulator so I can beat it.
I've already beat the career. I'm only doing, there's like the Tomb Raider stuff.
Yes, Parrot was telling me they have a Final Fantasy 7 one, and I'm like, I'm not cleaning Midgar, not doing it. I ain't cleaning that reactor. They can kick rocks on that front. Screw off.
Yeah. I've never. I haven't gotten there yet.
They could screw off.
Good bad examples.
I want out of Midgar. I'm over that dump.
Well, once you get out of Midgar, the game is basically over. So
they made Midgar 33 hours. I think Midgar in the game was like 10.
Look, but what I will say is they developed everything a lot better.
That game has everything. It has pretty girls. It has cross-dressing and a really gross Dawn. Which ironically, I want to. Okay, I want to talk about this one part of the game because it's hilarious up and down. There's this part where you sneak in till you have to sneak in with the you play as the male lead. He dresses that. If you can find that sequence in my VOD, please watch it because it's the funniest shit. I don't want to describe it, but I'm trying my best not to laugh. I'm trying my best not to like make fun of the situation because there's basically three people who are like run the city for this Dawn. There's a rancher, like a masseuse, and like a very flamboyant hotel owner who his hotel is called the Honeybee Inn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just say he's a little flamboyant, if you will. And you have to gain his approval by dancing.
Sounds like something I would do as a hotel owner.
Yeah. But what's so funny about it is like it's clearly supposed to be like this sensual, like I don't know how to describe this hotel. Like I was thinking like, oh, it's like it's more like I can't think of this dude. Not what's that fancy term for for I'm gonna say boudoir, and I know it's not boudoir.
I don't know. I'm not a dictionary. I can't.
It's I can't think of the stupid thing. It's
burlesque.
Yes, burlesque.
Mm-hmm.
It was like burlesque. It was supposed to be like a burlesque sort of thing. Like was like the vibe. It was supposed to be it, not like was supposed to be sort of what they were going for. But it's really funny when it's like this stiff like former soldier like trying to like do like sexy dance moves. I don't know how to describe it, but that entire sequence is just hilarious to me. But the funny part is like this Dawn is supposed to be like picking his wife, and it's literally so it's the two girls. It's Tifa, Aerith, and then Cloud dressed in like drag, and he's not hiding.
Is this in 7?
This is in 7.
Okay.
This is in Final Fantasy 7. It's this. You're basically trying to get like information because he has like info. So basically, the main villain of it is. At this point is an energy company that I guess I haven't quite figured it out, but they like oversee this city. Like the president of the energy company is like the president of like this area. And basically they want to start a war and they want to pin it on your eco-terrorist group for having to like do something. I forget what.
I posted the link in the podcast notes, by the
there
way,
you go.
so if you want to watch it after, you can.
But so they want to like blame you for something, but you need to get like to get this question answer, you need to get in there. So he has to like pick one of them, and at this point, it didn't matter who he picked. It didn't matter because they were gonna get the information anyway. But the funny part is he picks Cloud. He picks the dude in drag. And the part that was making me laugh the entire time is like. I get it's like plot, like he's just doing it, but it was like he's not hiding his voice at all. Do you think she just has like this raspy voice? But the whole thing was he was just calling him a pig, and he's like, "Yes, call me more names." I'm like, dude, I get it. I do.
In some ways, though, it's funny because that scene is funny in the remake, but it's almost funnier.
I think it was funnier in the original because
original because he's making these weird like gyrating gestures.
Mind you, the original game, the original game is literally like Tomb Raider-esque polygon. So it's just
it's built with a bunch.
You can't see anything, but that entire scene, I'm just like, this is just awkwardly hilarious because I'm like, it's funnier now because you can see it, but I'm like, is he just giving up on everything, or is he just that naive? I mean, hey, whatever float. Hey, I'm not judging. Whatever floats your boat, but I have questions.
Questions that you're probably not going to get answers to.
Not in the official capacity. I'm sure there's enough fan fiction out there to answer them. That was another original idea. That's a fun fact. You'll enjoy this one. When I first started, I was trying to pitch this to Frost. Hilariously enough, I wanted to read terrible fan fiction on stream as a bit because there are some horrible ones.
Can I tell you a story?
Oh boy!
This is gonna tie in. So earlier we were talking about my emo days and Black Veil Brides.
Oh yeah, you and I were. You didn't write it.
Did you ever hear about Wattpad?
Yeah.
It's deleted now. My account's deleted. Everything is deleted. But I used to write fan fiction for Andy and Cece of Black Veil Brides. Like the whole like your name, like how it'd be in parentheses, it'd be like Y/N your name.
Yeah.
I used to do that, and like it was like
Delightful.
Legitimately like top of the charts, and like that I was good at it.
Oxy's a good smut writer.
No, it wasn't smut. I don't write smut. It was just like wholesome, like fluff is what they called it.
Oh, it's adorable.
Mm-hmm. I used to be a fan fiction writer.
That's adorable. As much as like
not
people,
anymore though.
It's one of those things where it's like as much as you'll make fun of it, it's great creative writing.
It is
because you have like a set character thing. As long as you know what their personalities are, like go nuts. It's a great way
and
to
like you can sort of like imagine like what if, like it really gets your brain going, and then like I mean it was beneficial to me because I did it in high school, so I was like
it probably made your writing a little bit better.
Yeah, it did.
Right, see?
I would say it did. Because like I would use bigger words that like public school failed me on.
That's how I feel when I'm writing on a daily basis. If it wasn't for Grammarly, like I wouldn't necessarily think that way. I still really don't. Like it's still like, do you really want to use good? You could use like excellent. I'm like, I do want to use excellent.
Yeah.
Dude, that's always my thing. That's always been my thing with like texting and like online like communications. I don't know when or how, because public school definitely failed me on like my writing front, but like somehow I developed a good enough writing skill that I'm like typing in like bigger words and people will be like, why did you use that word?
I communicate in peepo emotes.
We know.
You started. Hey. No, wait, I was like, no, you didn't start me on that. You helped fuel it.
No, I was more of a what was it? The Keck.
Yeah, Keck.
That was
Keck
me.
That was all of you. It was all of you.
That was my main one that I used for like a long time.
He didn't understand what Keck was.
No, when I first started watching Specs like more regularly, I didn't understand what Keck was, particularly because he didn't have
BTTV or all of it.
BTTV. So
I finally upgraded to 7V or whatever, so I have like all of them now.
7TV?
Yeah, I have 7.
Yeah.
Martin,
that's what I used to because it has everything.
Yeah, Martin's like, get 7TV, make your life easy. I'm like, sure. And I got like 600 like emote slots. I'm like, wow.
It makes it so much nicer.
I got all
and then
emotes.
Nothing's like hidden or anything, so like you understand. You're like, oh, I know what you're saying now.
Yeah, especially with some people. Bryce.
What did I do?
Nothing. Don't worry about it. No, Oxy needs to stream more.
I've been planning on it. Like not planning on it, but like really thinking about it, because like what harm would there be in not streaming? Or I mean, what harm would there be in streaming versus when I'm not streaming?
Yeah,
You know
the
what I
ability
mean?
to
Like,
make money. I mean,
true. With them $50 payouts instead of $100.
I laugh because like when they switch it, I'm like, man, y'all don't. I literally told someone like, yeah, and y'all don't know what it was like back in the day out here.
When you had to hit that
You
100.
had to hit $100, man. We needed 25 subs to hit that thing. You needed like 50
It was
subs.
brutal.
It was brutal in these streets. Y'all only need like 10.
Mm-hmm. It's so much easier now to like become a streamer. Like, not to hit affiliate, but like once you do hit affiliate, it's so much easier to get a payout now.
Yeah,
Especially if you have the personality. Oh,
if you're
so easy.
like a lot of people who started like when we started, if they started now, they would have been like like what's funny is like I'm not trying to compare Feisty to soccer, but if soccer started now, she'd be partner. Not a question.
Really?
I think so, because I think it's not a partner's hard, like unnecessarily hard.
Well, yeah, because you have to hit those like insane goals.
Well, partners you need 75 concurrent. They can kill you. No. But there are people who will get partner like year one, and I'm like, they need to change that. It shouldn't be year one. I've always thought it.
If I could have done that, like if I had been a consistent streamer, my numbers were heading in that way. Like before I had like that big break when I moved, I was getting like 20 to 25 concurrent. Like had I have kept streaming,
it's so hard. It's so hard to say. Maybe.
And then I just dropped off the face of the earth. I didn't talk to anybody.
Like the only person I know who got there was soccer, but it was when we know the way she had to go about it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how difficult it is to do it organically.
Well, I guess I didn't hit affiliate organically.
No one does. I guess I did.
Because she had helped me.
I guess I did. I got to it without really any help.
Yeah, because you weren't really involved in like the Borderlands community at all at that point.
I really never was. I was always on the outskirts. And every time everyone asked it, because the whole thing was that when everyone asked, I'm like, I'd rather be on my own.
Yeah.
Like I never, as much as like get into community, I'm like, you don't need a community, because the only problem with the community is then it gets cliquish, and I'm like, I don't want that crap.
Yeah. I started to get into like the Borderlands 2 community, and then I was like, I don't know about this.
No offense, they all suck.
There are a couple people that I've met through there that I'm like, okay, you guys are great, but like in general, it wasn't something that I really wanted to be a part of. So I just kind of backed off and just did my own thing.
That's how I always kind of felt, like, especially with Borderlands 3. I'm just like, they all kind of. I've said it indirectly. I've never actually publicly said I don't like him, but I've hinted at that I don't really care for him.
Yeah,
I think there are a lot of pot stirrers that don't keep their mouths shut, and they should.
And even with that aside, like even with the game in general, I feel like Borderlands 3 is like a very divided game. Like you either hate it or you love it, or like you like the play style but you hate the story. Like I kind of fall into that category. So like
I thought the story was kind of weak.
I just that whole like Tyrene and Troy thing. It was so high school.
You want to know what's funny? And I don't mean keep bringing up Frost, but when I beat it, I had this exact conversation with Frost. I said, he goes, oh, what'd you think of Borderlands 3? I go, it sucked. And he laughs and goes, why do you say that? I'm like, maybe it was because I played it so close to there. I go, but going from Jack, Jack honestly was pretty close to a perfect villain, because
he was a great villain.
Because Jack, I agree. Because the one thing that makes a good villain, and I sort of laughed because I made the joke like Borderlands 2 ripped off Final Fantasy, but I'm like, it's the idea that the villain has in his head that he's not a villain, that he's actually like, he looks down upon you, he thinks you're a joke, he sees himself as the hero, and everything he does is heroic, and you're an insect in his way. I'm like, that going from that to essentially a Twitch streamer who thinks my shit doesn't stink and here's why. Like that attitude change is so different. than like an actual villain who's just like, I'm not even gonna waste my time showing my face around you because I think that little of you. Oh, all these guys will take care of it. Like you had, like that's the thing I think people undervalue is like you had to go to him. He didn't come to you. You had to literally like break into where Angel was for him to make his appearance. Like the first time for anything to happen, where it was like in Borderlands 3, it was like they were everywhere and they were like, we have like all these bandits. And it's like, yeah, you have all these bandits. Like, okay.
They always had like something to do with like if it was the broadcast, or, like something.
It was just like they were
always there.
And I think on even more so it was like Eden 6 sucked, but it was
that's the worst planet in the game.
And it was like with because they tried to throw in like the Tails characters too, where it was like you had what's his face? I can't think of it. Like the two main characters, Vaughn and I forget. I love Vaughn. But it was like you had like those guys where they were on
Pandora.
He was on Pandora, yeah.
In the third, yeah.
Yeah. And then you had what's his face from Atlas. Where it was like it kind of felt like they wanted to pigeonhole them in, and then the same thing with it was like
an afterthought.
Yeah.
Almost.
It was like they wanted to have like something to push a main side plot. Where it was like because they wanted to throw those characters in. Where it was like them, it was what's his face's sister was like a boss on Eden 6, which didn't. Troy? No, not Troy. Hammerlock's sister. Hammerlock. Where it was it was like that didn't really make sense.
Aurelia.
Like Aurelia, I'm like that didn't make any sense. But it was like they had like these weird like side main plots. That it was like, well, we put these characters in, like, let's use them again. But it's like you never saw.
It's just like these like one-off missions.
Yeah, and it was like, and it was only like those characters.
Flow.
Yeah, and it was only those characters. You never saw what's her face from who was in it, the bounty hunter chick. You never saw her, and she was in both Tales and pre-sequel. Like she wasn't in anything else. I don't like if they do the same thing with Tales. More Tales in 4, it's just like I'm like I'd rather they didn't, just because it's like it's so pigeonholed and it slows it down. But like I hated that. I hated Troy. I hated the stupid short little that's deranged little sexual deviant midget guy you had to follow around for the last 45 minutes.
Oh my god.
I wanted him.
Typhon.
I hated Typhon. I hated him. I wanted to kick him off. I wanted to punt him through a field goal post.
Such a bad ending.
Because it was if they had ended it with Troy, I agree with Frost. Because he literally said, because that was the thing he and I were talking about. I'm like, if they got rid of Typhon, I probably would have been fine. Like Typhon did nothing, but he's like, yeah,
did nothing but like give you like that off-putting. Like
it was off-putting.
Okay.
It was almost like he's like, we made sirens by accident because we were degenerates. Like I don't care, dude. I do not care. Right. But it was like, even he said, I think he had like I watched his he's like watch my video and I'm like fine, whatever. I watched his clip and I'm like, no, you're right. If they had ended it there with Troy losing. And they just kill Troy. Like, if they just kill Troy off there, did nothing else, Tyrene's just like, well then, my bad. Like, just sort of been like, this shit's out of my hand. Look at what it did to this idiot. Like, that would have been a fine ending. No, they want another 45 minutes out of it. For no reason.
So stupid.
Yeah, and then...
I get you want to have, like, a long, like, story play time, but, like, it didn't work right.
No, not at that point.
At that point, might as well have just ended it there.
Yeah, at that point with like 45 minutes of Typhon, it was just like that should have been DLC. Like honestly, would have been like.
I wouldn't have bought that DLC.
Oh, I wouldn't either. Not willingly anyway. But it's that was so disappointing. Where it was just I hated it, and then Wonderlands was sort of the same thing. Yeah, no, you never played it. But
I played it I played a little bit of it, but after I touched it, I was like, okay. I played it on stream for like 3 hours, and then I was
Wonderlands.
It didn't.
Wonderland's story is good, but the problem with Wonderlands is the end game is really bad.
Really?
So they took. This is
well,
honestly.
Didn't they push a DLC like almost immediately after it
They
dropped
had
or
4.
something?
So they had 4. Pack 1 was 4 DLCs, and they were out with it. The game's only been out a year. It's dead. They haven't announced any other DLCs. Whatever they did is it, as far as we know. But what's funny is when people were hyping it up, they were talking about like, oh, if you don't like Guardian Takedowns, like it was sort of like an LOL, like people who liked Guardian Takedown were like, yeah, we won out because they listened to us, and they were like, this kind of sucks. Because like they did was it was all chaos chambers, and they all sucked. So it was like that with like a very weak story.
Right.
But it was just like rinse, wash, repeat. But yeah,
which is unfortunate because I feel like they could have done a lot for that game, and I feel like I keep saying that, like they could have done a lot with Wonderlands.
With
they
Wonderlands,
could have done a lot with Borderlands 3.
Wonderlands,
too.
Wonderlands, 1000%, because it's D&D based. They literally could have done whatever they wanted with DLC. Like they could have been like all those chambers. They easily could have been like one-off stories, like not even long, like 2 hours.
So much opportunity to do literally whatever they wanted.
Like they could have easily done those like chaos chambers and just been like, hey, I want, like they could have done like 2 hour like short like editions, like one shots, and would have been fine. And then have like a raid boss, like how Borderlands 2 did, where it's like you had a thing and then you get a raid boss, have a thing, get a raid boss. Like that's really all they had to do. It was a tried and true formula. They should have left it at that, but they didn't, because and their excuse was, well, it was made during COVID. I'm like, we need to stop making that excuse.
Right.
You started development before COVID. It's not like all of a sudden development shut down. But
speaking of that, do you know anything, like this is just a side off question, but like, remember when they had teased the Borderlands movie?
Somebody was talking about it. I think it's supposed to drop soonish. I think.
Because like they have like a bunch of big name actors in there.
I think I saw they were still filming or like close to done filming.
They've been doing that since.
But I have no idea.
What, 2019?
Maybe.
I don't know how they're gonna wind up doing it though.
I don't even know if there's a release date on it. Because I'm like, I'm not gonna watch this.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. I'm absolutely gonna watch it. I'm gonna have a whole watch party. It's gonna be a whole thing.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Because like I could either see it going very good or very bad, depending on how closely they follow the whole Borderlands story. You know what I mean?
They made it seem like it was supposed to be like a one-off story.
Oh, really?
So they have no idea. They said as of May, there's no. What is it? What did it say? No. They were developing a bit in 2015. Then 2020, Eli Roth came out and boarded her. Blah blah blah. As of May of 23rd, there is no news. There is no release date. They said filming started April 1st of 2020, so next year.
At this point, though, at this rate, I feel like Borderlands 4 is going to be out before this movie.
Well, that means they'd have to be done with editing. But so
January 2023, it was announced that the film will be going through 2 weeks of reshoots.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they'll now the editing process.
Yeah. So that means if they got the editing done, all the reshoots, it's going to be easy. The editing will take 6 months. So I don't know.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm not, my things are sort of like low on it, but I don't know. I couldn't tell you. It's a game. It's a video game to, big screen. They usually don't do well.
No.
Unless if it knows what it is, it knows what it is. But I don't know. Yeah. All right. Well, that I think ends that one. Ox, you're a great guest, even though you were a last minute guest.
Thank you.
Appreciated you having you on there.
I had fun being here.
And she was like, what do I say? I don't know what you guys do. And I'm like, this. It's literally
I've
this.
never been on a podcast. This is my first time being on a podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
Those are fun.
Yeah, see, there you go.
Have we convinced Ox to return to streaming?
Maybe.
She says, oh, coy. Just don't play COD.
The plans in the future, maybe.
Stop playing COD.
I want to.
Play Slime
Sounds
Rancher.
about as specific as I ever get when I promise streams.
And yet when
The
I do
thing
it,
is-
everyone tells me I'm the bad person. Kidding.
Well, the problem with you is, Specs, not to get into it too much, is you say you're going to stop streaming. And then the next day you start streaming again.
Yeah, because this asshole.
Yeah, it's because he's got me whispering in his ear.
Oh, me too, though.
No, I know,
If
it's-
you're ever comfortable with it.
I need someone to raid. And I should
I don't pressure him.
I should just
I
put,
don't
I should just be
pressure him,
like, I should just literally be like, you can watch
encourage
my you can watch this fat ass on his YouTube channel. I found a new sound alert I want to make. I'll end on here. It's one again, my boy Daddy Dimmu, where he says, I'm an idiot and I'm fat. I'm like, I need that as a sound alert.
Oh my God.
I'm like, I need that sound.
Relatable.
I'm both fronts. I don't know. If someone clips that power bottom one, I wish I did it on stream because it was a doozy. I'm just a power bottom, just under, just smacking it into the air with all the force, doing all the work. All right, but we'll be back next week, probably without Ox, unless she wants to come on. I've been threatening to replace him for months and years at this point.
Is this going to become Coffee with Spects and Ox instead of Coffee with Spects and Bryce?
Oh,
I'll be
no,
the
we can't do
occasional
that.
guest.
No, we'll make a.
I don't want to kick Bryce out.
No, we'll make a separate podcast. It'll be in a sophisticated drinking podcast where Oxy and I just drink whiskey.
Now listen,
we drink
you're
whiskey.
speaking my language.
We drink whiskey, talk video games, and it just devolves into us arguing.
So you'll have Coffee with Spects and Bryce, and then you'll have whiskey with Spects and Ox.
Ox
It's like the family friendly, and then like the late night.
The late night.
Like,
It'll just be us doing tier list of anime characters.
just straight up degeneracy.
It'll just be degeneracy. It'll be like 1 week will be Genshin tier list. A Genshin tier list.
That would be so hard for me to do.
I would just judge a race based on how they looked.
Okay, that's fair. A
We
good
need-
way to approach it, I guess,
We
from
need
an outsider.
I need Oxy to play Scarlet and Violet for a couple of gym leaders. That's all I'm gonna say.
I'll look into it.
Okay. Well, have yourself a good week. Bryce doesn't stream anymore. I stream. Ox, anything you want to plug?
Follow me on twitch.tv
All right.
Oxy.
The dead channel.
I'll be back.
No.
I'll be back in a week or two. So
Dead
give me
channel.
a chance to move.
Dead channel. I don't know. Maybe Ox and I will go back to playing Borderlands 3 together when she doesn't cheat on
I
me.
actually do have plans.
When
to
she
start
doesn't,
streaming
when she
Borderlands
doesn't,
3.
when she doesn't cheat on me with her other friends.
Okay.
I'm
It was
hurt.
one time.
It was more
Maybe
than one.
twice.
You and Flubber hang out too much.
No, we finished the story and we're done.
Oh.
Haven't played since with him.
All right. Well, have a good rest of the week, guys, and all that stuff. We'll see you guys all on the flip side. I don't know why I said that. I'm just gonna like, all right, now it's awkward. See you all in the next one. Bye,
See
guys.
you guys.
Bye.